Just starting in a comfortable seated position. If you have blocks or a blanket, you might want those nearby for today's practice. So if you have them somewhere else, you might want to just bring them near you. If you don't have them, don't worry too much about it. We'll start today with mudra with the hands. And the mudra is called Shunya Mudra, and it's for creating a sense of clarity and openness in the mind. You'll take your middle fingers of both hands and just place them so the tips of the middle fingers are just right on the base of the thumbs, and then you'll use the thumbs to hold the middle fingers down. So this is a mudra, a hand shape for bringing an intention. So just middle finger down, thumb holding the middle finger there. And then you can just rest the mudra on your knees, just gently resting your hands on your legs. Feel free to close your eyes whenever you're ready, or you can keep them open, that's fine too. Starting with a couple slow breaths here, inhaling through your nose to lengthen the spine. A slow breath out of the mouth without losing any of that length. And 2 more breaths just like that. Inhale slowly. And a long exhale out the mouth. And 1 more. Full breath in. Audible exhale, letting go. Just welcoming in this kind of expansive sense to your chest area. Just a gentle lift of that space. Allow your eyes to soften a little here. Let your jaw unhinge. Sensing a length across the sides of your neck. Just letting the shoulders drop down the back here. Just take a few more breaths here. Just welcoming in this open, clear intention for your practice. This intention of clarity. When we find this kind of open, clear mentality, often we can make decisions that are good for us. Right action for ourselves and for others. Gently just release the mudra, just opening the palms here for a couple breaths, just relaxing the fingers, noticing any sensations in your hands. Just bring your hands down to the ground next to your hips here. Just fingertips are fine. And start to lift the chest and take a big breath in. As you exhale, drop the chin in towards your chest. And then inhale the right ear over towards your right shoulder. Just lengthening, softening the left shoulder down. Chin draws a line across the collarbones. And then over to the other side. Inhale. Exhale through the center. We'll just do this once more on each side. Over to the right. Exhale through the center. And over to the left. Meeting back in the middle, letting the head be heavy, chin to chest. On your next inhale, just look straight ahead. slowly start to roll over your knees, and we'll come into child's pose. So just taking your time to get there, knees wide. You can bring the big toes close together behind you. Feel free to prop yourself up on your forearms. Just letting your head hang heavy here, or you can stretch your arms forward, dropping the forehead to meet the earth. Feel free to move a little bit in this position, maybe shifting a little side to side. You can rock the head side to side a bit. Just let your breath start to move in and out of your nose, connecting to Ujjayi breath. Slow breath in through your nose, running over the throat. And slow breath out through the nose, almost like you're breathing out, fogging a mirror up, but the lips will stay sealed. The breath moves through the nose. Just noticing that gentle whisper-like or ocean wave sound of your breathing as it echoes back to you from the ground underneath you. Let your next inhale bring you up through tabletop and all the way down onto the belly. Slowly rolling down, come into Sphinx pose, propping yourself up on your forearms, elbows under the shoulders. Just start to lift the chest here, so you can choose your level of action in this pose, either kind of taking it easy and softening into the opening in the front of the body, or you can get a little more active, pressing your elbows down, broaden across your collarbones, maybe even squeeze the legs together a little bit. Draw the navel in towards the spine. Lots of little actions can be added to feel a little more alert, a little more spacious. Just kind of broadening here. Take one more full breath in. And then exhale, just roll down and rest on your right ear as you pull your right knee in, just so the inner edge of your right leg is on the ground flat. So this is just a inner groin stretch. We're just kind of softening into the shape. So your right leg sort of looks like a frog leg, flexing the right foot. You might feel your belly press into the earth here as you inhale. And as you exhale, just letting the breath fall out of the mouth. Gently straighten your right leg, and we'll prop up on the forearms again. One more Sphinx pose here, just setting up how you want to be, just finding that gentle curve of the spine, that space in the front of the body. If you want a little more of a back bend here, feel free to press your palms into the ground and straighten the arms a little bit, or a lot, your choice. You can also stay grounded. We'll just hold for about 2 more breaths here. On an exhale, gently roll down. We'll rest on the left ear this time and pull the left knee in towards the top of the mat. Our inner edge of the leg is resting on the ground. Just breathing here, softening for a couple breaths. Alright, slowly come back through the center. Just extend the left leg, hands come under your shoulders. Tuck your toes and then just press yourself back into child's pose with the knees right where they are. The forehead just taps the ground. And then we'll rise into a standing position on the knees. So we'll just stand up here and stretch the arms up and overhead. Just lengthening here through the fingertips. Feel free to untuck your toes if that makes you feel more grounded. Take one more inhale here and then bring your hands to your low back. Just interlace the fingers, draw the knuckles back, lift the chest, curl the chest up. As you exhale, fold over your legs, hips set back, forehead taps the ground, hands fall behind you. And then just release your hands down to the low back, down to your sides, and then straight out in front as you look forward. Shift into cow pose. Drop your belly, look up, arch the back. We'll do the same flow a couple more times, just rounding the back as you press back into child's. Forehead taps the ground. Just for transition, rise up onto the knees. Toes untucked or tucked here, whatever feels most stable for you. Hands to the low back. Interlace, draw the chest up towards the ceiling, look up, and then fold, hinging forward, hips set back, tap the forehead down. Hands release all the way out in front of you. Cow pose, take your time to transition forward, arch the back. And then round, belly button hugs in, set the hips back, child's pose. Last round here, just moving slowly, finding that length as you rise up. Hands to the low back. Interlace, curl open, knees press down. Exhale, hinge forward, hips draw back. Release your hands, look forward. Hands move forward, cow pose. Drop the belly, arch the back. And then press to down dog this time. Just tucking your toes. Feel free to shift back through child's and then down dog. Or maybe you just want to be in child's pose and that's fine too. Just pausing in child's pose or down dog for the next 5 or so breaths. Welcome here. If you want to pedal the legs, if you want to shift side to side, feel into your hips. Just bring your gaze forward. Gently make your way to the top of the mat. Take your time to get there. When you do, lift halfway, just lengthening the spine about shoulders to hip height. And then just fold forward. Folding over your legs, dropping in here. If folding really deep here feels intense for your low back, just feel free to bring your hands to your thighs and just fold whatever amount feels all right for you today. Bending the knees can feel nice too, just releasing the backs of the legs a little bit with the bend. In a deeper fold and you want to grab opposite elbow with opposite hand and sway a little bit, that's fine too. Just check in, adjust, right action for you. Open, clarity. Just trust your body as you continue through practice today. We'll lift halfway. And then just let that bring you all the way upright into a standing mountain position. So just letting your hands rest at your sides. We'll just get a little active here in this upright position. Feet connect to the ground. Little bend in the knees is fine here. Little lift in the chest. Your inhale might help with a little bit more of a lift and length in your back. And we'll do a little practice around the mat today, a mandala practice. So just letting yourself kind of be open to this idea of moving around the mat, and we'll take it slow. So just starting to stretch your arms up and overhead. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, fold over your legs, nice and slow. Lift halfway as you inhale, just bringing the fingertips down onto the ground. Step your left foot back and come into a low lunge. Drop your left knee down and just walk the hands up onto the right thigh. Just in this low lunge to start, lifting the chest. thighs together a little to feel stable in the pelvis. Maybe sweep your arms up and overhead. Just drawing the navel back towards the spine, building some strength in the center of the body. Slowly start to bring the right hand down to the inside of your right foot. And then we'll just kickstand the left foot out back behind. So we're coming into a modified side angle pose. Left hand can come onto your hip, or you can stretch it alongside the ear. So just taking a few breaths here. If your hand feels like it's really reaching to get to the ground, feel free to just prop your right forearm on your right thigh. Or if you have a block nearby, that might be helpful too, just bringing a block under your hand. Feel free to stretch the arm here, lengthening a little bit more through the side of the body. Scooping the belly up and in to make a little more space. Gently bring your left hand onto your hip. Start to straighten your right leg as you lift up in the upper body, right hand to the hip as well. Turn your right toes towards the long side of the mat just so you have a little more of a grip of the foot down. It's lengthening here for a moment, lifting the chest. You might need to adjust your legs a little bit, and that's fine. Just slide the right hand down the right shin, left fingertips stretch up, gate pose. Just lengthening here through the left side ribs. Gently come up through the center and over to the other side. Right fingertips stretch up. You can just bring your left hand to your low back here and lean. Lengthening from right fingertips to right heel. And you can stay put in one of these two places or start a little flow from pose to pose. Just leaning over to the right and leaning over to the left. You might match your breath with this flow as well. Just a big inhale over to the right and an exhale over to the left. Just notice the balance required for this little flow here, drawing the belly button in. Wherever you're coming from, we'll just meet back in the middle, arms stretch out into a T. Just take a big breath in to broaden here, and then bring your left hand down onto the ground, over towards the left side of the mat. Right hand can come onto your hip. This is where it gets a little bit tricky, so we're going to lift the right foot off of the ground and step it to the back of the mat. So we're going to come into a lunge at the back of the mat. Take your time here to lift your right foot, step it forward to the back of the mat, or backwards at this point, and just readjust your legs. So you might need to hop your left knee over towards the left side of your mat. Just readjust, settle in. And then plant your left hand down onto the ground. Just start to peel open into a twist here. Right fingertips stretch up, just lengthening through the spine here. Belly scoops up and in. If you want to break off of the back knee and add a little strength to the pose, feel free to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Just hold here for one more big breath in. As you exhale, drop the knee down. If it's lifted, lower your right hand and straighten your right leg for a half split. So just shifting your right heel forward a little. Right toes lift up towards the ceiling, and then lengthen the spine halfway, just lifting up halfway here. Just slowly release down, folding in. If you notice that the ground feels really far away from you here, this is another good place to grab some blocks. Pressing your right heel into the ground. The right thigh bone draws back into its socket as the left hip crease slides forward a little to even out the pelvis. side of your right foot. Tuck your left toes back behind you, lift your left knee, and then drop your left heel down. Skandasana. We'll walk the hands all the way over to the left foot as you bend into your left knee and straighten the right leg. So we're pressing the right leg straight. Left knee is bent. Feel free to stay up high here. You don't need to stay super low to the ground. If it feels better to bring your hands onto your left thigh, that's fine. Just sinking into the hip any amount. Right toes are turned towards the long side of your mat or lifted up towards the ceiling. Just keeping a length in the spine here. Gently bring your hands onto the ground and start the pivot towards the front of the mat again. Left toes turn forward. Right knee drops onto the ground for your low lunge. Heel toe your left foot super wide here. We'll come into a lizard pose. Just dropping into this deep stretch in the hip. So bending the elbows, maybe sinking a little lower, maybe even coming onto the forearms. This is another pose that you can lift the back knee if you want a little extra sensation, a little more of a strength component. Just know that that is an option. Periodically, seeing if there's anywhere that could adjust in your shape to make it feel a little more useful for you in this moment. Just checking in, breathing slow. Feel free to let a breath out of your mouth. Gently come back up onto the hands if you've gone elsewhere, and just start to heel toe the left foot over to the right side of the mat. We'll come into pigeon pose from here. Left knee drops, shin is on the ground. As you reach your right leg back, feel free to adjust the back knee if you need to. Just lifting, lengthening, scooping the belly up and in to start, and then folding forward as you exhale. Started to hold any tension in your face, in your jawline, just letting that go, softening around the face. Slow breaths here. Inhale. Exhale slowly. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, just start to walk back onto your hands. We'll lean over to the left to swing the right leg out in front. So we're just swinging the right leg on top of the left to come into fire log pose. Stacking the shins one on top of the other. So the right ankle is stacked on top of the left knee. The right knee is stacked on top of the left ankle. You can simply hold your knee here if this feels really tight for you. You can fill that space that you have between your knee and ankle if that feels like it would be helpful. You can keep the space, whatever feels all right for you. We'll just start by bringing the hands down to your sides. Just lift your chest up a little bit to lengthen. And then if you'd like, you can fold. Hinging any amount forward over the legs. possible. Unravel your legs and just do a little windshield wiper of the knees side to side, free up the hips a bit. And just for a moment, come down onto your back. Come into happy baby pose. Just holding onto the backs of the knees or the edges of your feet. Just rolling down, feeling that connection of your back and the ground. Taking these kind of unexpected moments of rest and support, sort of taking advantage of these moments, just dropping in, letting yourself soften and enjoy. Just in the next couple of breaths, we'll slowly start to round the head off of the ground and the upper back off of the ground, keeping the legs just as they are, happy baby legs. Just connecting to the core a little bit here. Belly button draws down, breath is steady here. Just one more inhale and exhale, just release everything. You can bring the soles of the feet wide and drop the knees in towards one another. Hands rest on the belly. Just pausing for 2 big breaths. Gently make your way back into downward facing dog. You can roll onto your side or start a little rock front to back, your choice. It's down dog or child's pose if you prefer. And then gently make your way to the top of the mat. Slowly stepping forward, take your time, lift halfway, and just release into your fold. Rise all the way up. Take a big breath in, stretch the arms up. Hands down to your sides, exhale. Strong standing mountain Tadasana, feet rooted, chest lifted, steady breath. On an inhale, just stretch the arms up, reach up. Dive over, exhale. Lift as you inhale, belly draws in towards the spine. Fingertips on the ground, right foot steps back. Completing the circle in the opposite direction. Drop your right knee. Walk your hands to the top of the thigh, just lifting the chest. Maybe the arms sweep up. Just taking a few breaths here to find that connection down in your feet. Gentle lift in the chest, length through the sides of the body. Exhale, just bring the left hand to the inside of your left foot. Kickstand the right foot back behind you. And we're just peeling open into that side angle variation. Left forearm can be on the thigh here or a block under your left hand. All options to make the pose a little more spacious for you. Spine, a gentle peel open of the chest. Gently bring your right hand to your right hip. Rise up to straighten the left leg and turn your toes in. It's lengthening up here. We'll just slide the left hand down the left shin. Stretch up through the right side and lean over. Just finding that little bit of lift through the right side ribs. Gently come back up through the center and then over to the other side. Right hand can just come to your low back. Left arm reaches up. Feel free to stay in one of those two shapes or find a little flow. It's leaning over to one side and then the other. Just noticing your movements coming from the center of the body outward. Maybe your breath matches your movement. Slowly come back up through the center, just meeting back in the middle. Reach up through the top of the head, and then bring your right hand down onto the mat, next to your right knee, maybe a little farther forward towards the back of your mat. Lift your left foot up slowly and take that really big step to the back of your mat. Let your right foot pivot with it. Set yourself up into your lunge, no rush here. Left foot plants, right hand plants, and come into your twist. Just peeling open to the left. Left fingertips stretch up. Maybe you tuck the right toes and lift off of the knee for a couple breaths. See if you can continue to hug your left knee in towards the midline here. Just holding for one more inhale. Exhale, the knee comes down, the hand comes down, and straighten your left leg, half splits. Slide your left heel forward if you need a little connection there. If the hips are really leaning back, just try to slide the heel forward. The hips stay over the knee. The breath is steady. On your next inhale, lift and lengthen halfway as you draw your left hip crease back. Exhale, fold into it. Let your toes follow and then just bend into the right knee. Left leg presses straight, sinking the hip down any amount. Feel free to bring your hands to the top of your right thigh if that feels really intense here. If you're feeling anything that doesn't feel right, just try adjusting something. Move your foot an inch in one direction. Maybe lift up from somewhere. If you're dropping into a certain part of your body, just check in, keep that in mind. We'll all bring the hands back down onto the ground. Turn your right toes forward. Let your left foot follow as you bring the left knee down onto the ground. Heel toe the right foot super wide. Lizard pose, just sinking down into the hip. Again, if you want to lift the back knee, sometimes that can feel more spacious and relieving for the knee. is between your inhale and exhales. Gently come back up onto your hands. Heel toe the right foot over towards the left side of the mat. Sometimes shifting your hips back can be helpful with that. Shifting the hips back a bit. Drop the knee down, shin down, pigeon pose, extending through your left toes. Lift and lengthen the chest. And fold when you're ready. Where you feel the pose the most in your body. You might imagine even funneling the breath towards that place where you feel sensation. Here or just to hold on to your knee, know that that's totally fine as well. Thoughts start to pop up in the mind here, just allowing everything in. Doesn't mean anything needs to get particular attention, just allowing it all to be right here. Thoughts, sensations, your breath. Start to come up and out of the pose. Unravel your legs. Hands behind you, a little windshield wiper of the knees. And open the legs out into a straddle here. You can turn sideways on your mat so your heels have a little cushion or not, whatever you prefer. Just leaning forward a little bit to get your sitting bones connected to the ground. Gentle flex of the feet back. Lifting and lengthening the chest here as you turn just a little twist over to the right, and then go ahead and just fold over the right leg any amount. Notice if the left hip starts to peel off of the mat. See if you can keep that rooted, even if that means coming out of the fold a little bit. flex back if possible. And just drop in any amount. If you want to add a little wrist stretch here, feel free to turn your fingers out, shift side to side a little bit. Or if you want a little more intense of a wrist stretch, you can turn your fingertips back towards the rest of your body. Find your sitting bones, lift the chest and lengthen. Take a big breath in and exhale, just fold forward. In this pose, you can round your back, just letting your spine move into its natural shape, or you can find some length in your back, whatever feels best to you, by reaching the collarbones forward. Draw the knees together and roll onto your back. Take your time to get there, rolling slowly down. Soles of the feet come onto the ground, just brushing the fingertips or brushing the heels with your fingertips. Just pressing the palms into the ground to stabilize. Start to peel up into bridge pose. Knees draw forward. Chest lifts away from the knees. If you can imagine the hip points in the front of your pelvis narrowing in towards one another to make some more space in your sacrum. That's a nice thing to think about here in this shape. Just take one more full breath in. Exhale to melt down. Nice and slow. Take a full breath in, a full breath out. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. We're coming into figure 4 or reclined pigeon here. Slowly hugging the knee in towards the chest, or you can keep the left sole of the foot down and gently just press your knee out and away from you. Either way is fine. Shape for a few more moments. You could stay right where you are, or if you want to add a twist, you can open your arms out into a T. The legs stay just as they are as they fall over to the left. The right sole of the foot touches the ground. The outer edge of the left leg touches the ground. And then once you're here, just readjust your upper back so it feels grounded. And then maybe you take your left hand and gently press your right inner thigh away from you if you want a little more sensation. Back through the center, unravel, and just switch sides. Left ankle over the right thigh, gently pressing the knee away or hugging in for just a couple breaths here. drop the legs over to the right as the arms open out to a T. Just notice your breath, slow and steady. See if you can bring a clear, open quality even to your breath. The clarity of your inhale to your exhale. Slowly start to release back through the center. Unravel your legs and come into happy baby again. Just hands to the backs of your knees or the edges of your feet. Just letting yourself drop in. Notice your back supported by the ground. You might play around with straightening one leg for a couple breaths and switching and straightening the other. Gently bring awareness back into your body, slowly starting to reawaken. Wiggle the fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Maybe take a full body stretch. Roll onto your side or find your way up in a seated position any way that works for you. Just meeting in that upright position, just letting your hands come to your heart center. The sealing practice today with the sound of Om. You can listen or join in, whatever you prefer. We'll take a full breath in together. Namaste, and thank you very much for sharing in practice.